Hello everyone, it's Kelly again. It's the 29th of May, and it's been a couple of weeks since I did an update, so I thought I would do it today. It's a beautiful day here in Napa. It's 80 degrees and no clouds anywhere. So, with it being this nice, I thought I would do a quick update. My flowers are doing really well. I planted the roses for my wife on Mother's Day, and they've been doing quite well. They're doing better now. This one here dropped its roses, but it's got tons and tons of blooms on it, ready to come out. And then I put in all these flowers, and this one's doing well. Get out of here so you don't see my shadow. Anyhow, got several basil plants in. I realized that we use a lot of basil, so I put in a couple more. And I've got some pepper seedlings that some Wonder Pepper, California Wonder Peppers, that I'm going to transplant when those things are bigger. And I've got a couple other tomato plants that I put in right there. One's a jelly bean hybrid, which is the one in the larger container, and then I don't remember what I put in those. I think it's a Super 100. So anyway, and then I've got some more basil over here, and a bunch of it right there. But you can tell the flowers are keeping everything looking nice, and my dogs are keeping me company. And this is the most important thing today. Right there, I'm drinking a glass of wine, some Chardonnay. So now to the garden. I had to put fence up because of the aforementioned dogs. I still have spinach there and lettuce. Keep on harvesting it. I'm amazed on how much I'm harvesting, so keep just bagging it up. Here's the peppers. Everything's doing well. I got rid of those snails, and thanks for that last post. Somebody said put beer out in a bowl, and I put in several of those all the way down. I got some just cheap beer and put it in some bowls, and it collected snails. And then, but I also had to put out a few poison baits because it was really terrible. I mean, they were just everywhere. But once I got rid of them, everything is really flourishing. As you can tell, it's a lot of growth. Broccoli is, here, let me get out of the shadow here. Broccoli, I've been harvesting it all the time, if you can tell there. And back there, look at that. Good grief. Stuff is just exploding. Look at that one. So anyway, see how big that is? So anyway, I got to get those off there. Some more there, and another big one right there. So anyway, to the tomatoes. Things are just popping out like crazy. There's a bunch of, these are cherry tomatoes. If you can tell, they're over the top of this thing. Almost all of them are. And then, but the growth is really good. Things are really, they're coming out everywhere. There's some more right there. As you can tell, right there. Big cluster of them. And look at that cluster. Wow. Man, I can't wait till this stuff gets red. Anyway, those are doing well. And this one here, I've actually been pulling red ones off. There's another one right down there, as you can tell. So, been kind of feeding on this one. Everything else has tomatoes all over it, and they're way over the top of this thing. Most of these plants that are over the top are right approaching 5 feet tall. This is about 5 feet right here. So some of them are over that. But you can see, I hope you can tell, there's a lot of blooms on everything. So, but it's been really cool here in Napa, and things are just now heating up. There's a cluster there, and that's a Juliet. I could just show you all these things, but I don't want to bore you to death. But anyway, this is mainly just a video just to kind of bring everybody up to speed on everything, on what's going on. There's just massive amounts of growth. There's tomatoes everywhere. Pretty wild. I mean, I'm pretty excited. So there's a lot of things to show you here. The beans, last time I showed you, I just put them in the ground and they're coming up. I'm going to have to trellis these here soon because they're starting to pop out of the ground. So there's strawberries. I've been pulling strawberries off there daily. So there's a red one right there. Missed one. Squash. They're getting massive. As you can tell by the size of that. There's one right there. Pretty big. This plant's huge, but it doesn't have any big squash on it just yet. But look at the size of that leaf. Good gosh. Anyway, there's a lot of small ones in there. Then the yellow squash, it's doing really well. There's one right there. There, everywhere. Down here, down there. There's this thing's just popping out with tons of squash. Then I've got another couple of peppers, and you can see there's my first kind of pepper coming out there. That's a yellow bell. And same thing with that one, but nothing. Yeah, just some blooms. This is a Sweet 100. It's kind of like that other one I was telling you about earlier, but I already planted it earlier this year, so it's later than the rest. But and then this is a Mr. Stripey I planted that I grew from a seedling. Actually, I pulled it off as a sucker and then grew it, so it's doing well. And then the okra that I planted is all coming up. So you can see I've got, well, 9 of them took anyway. There's one of them that didn't take. So and then I have cucumbers right here and here. They're doing okay. It's been just so cold at night, and during the day we hadn't been able to get out of the 60s until today, and so they're just waiting on hot weather, and we're finally here. And then I have cantaloupe down here. So now that it's going to get warm, things are going to get big. I can't wait. This weather has just been kind of weird. So anyway, well, that's pretty much it. I'll give you another update. I'm going to do some things next week. Going to plant a few other things and start a hydroponic garden. So you might be interested in that. So stay tuned for that, and I'll be hopefully doing another video in another week or so. All right, everybody take care.